Hey guys, it's me, the Sapphic Nerd. Today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of advice that I learned in my life, especially just during the last year. I am a giant lesbian. I'd come out to my mom a few years ago. She wasn't too thrilled about it. She cried when I told her. Up until then, I'd been her perfect child. Did everything I was supposed to do, was responsible, obedient, reliable, and I was still all those things, but coming from a conservative Christian background came with a lot of other expectations, specifically heterosexual ones. When I came out to her, in her mind, that was a lot of her dreams kind of going down the drain. I disappointed her. It hurt her, but it hurt me too because I realized that sense of unconditional love was not quite as unconditional as I would have thought. My opinions beliefs I was starting to form around who I really am and who I want to be, what kind of person I truly am, started to differ from, and that was the cause of a lot of conflict between us, not just with the whole being gay thing, but also with me being a lot more modern in my beliefs, just about a lot of things in general. Every time we would talk to each other would kind of become a fight. But she did seem to slowly come around, and I got to a point with her where she did tell me once that it didn't matter whether I was with a man or a woman as long as I was happy. And I thought, to me, that was the ultimate acceptance. A few years later, I met someone, came out, posted it on Facebook that I was in a relationship with a girl. Everyone freaked out. I didn't really understand it because a lot of people knew, my mom knew, and she'd known that I'd been seeing this person. I guess her having to deal with it and not being able to say, this is just a phase, it's going to go away, or just ignore it, pass it off as just friends, was really what pushed my mom. She couldn't back out of it anymore, and everyone saw. Her brothers and sisters were asking her questions, and I guess embarrassed, ashamed, and shocked, and I don't know what else. But what ended up happening is she took me and my sister into her room one day. She was talking to me about how what I was doing, being gay, but she wasn't using those words, was hurting her, how it was wrong. She just hadn't spent enough time with us as kids. Maybe she didn't love us enough or give us enough attention, and that's why things were going the way they were going. She was said we could sell the house, the cars, everything, just go away for a while, that my uncles knew people who could quote-unquote help me, and that they had helped people before who were like me, and now they were better. She told me that she would rather die than see me live my life the way I was living it, and by that she meant be gay. She told me she couldn't stand to watch me do this. She couldn't stand to see it. Probably in the back of my mind had kind of known that there was a possibility for this, but over the years I'd become optimistic because I thought, she's coming around, she's learning to accept it. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe I can have all the same things that I always wanted just with a woman, and maybe it'll be okay. But she said things to me that day that just hurt so much. And they just caught me so much by surprise, because they were things I didn't expect her to say, like all that stuff about how I needed help and needed to get therapy for it. And so, at that point, I knew that I couldn't stay there anymore. That I wasn't welcome as I was. Because, yeah, sure, she said, I don't want you to leave. But if I stayed, I was going to have to do all these things that would basically work to make me hate the person that I had worked so hard to love for years. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to myself. Not with how far I've come. And so I left. I told her I was gonna move out. I gave her a month. I gave myself a month. I let work know. I got everything all organized. Packed my things. This is really stereotypical, but luckily my girlfriend had space in the house she was renting with her sister and another roommate. So after, I think it was about a month of dating, we moved in together. It was just so different. I realized how much stress I'd been under and how exhausted I was living with my mom. How toxic the relationship had actually become over time, and I just never realized because that's all I knew. I don't think she has any bad intentions, but that's just the way it was. I was a parentified child being treated like an adult as long as I could remember, to be honest. She was confiding in me with her marital problems and when she was unhappy with her life and things like that. And I just always felt like it was my responsibility to take care of everyone else in the house. And I was the house therapist. That took a toll on me because I wasn't focusing at all on my needs. And I was exhausted. I was doing all this work of a parent and an older sister. At the same time, I was still going to school, being a student, working full-time and part-time, depending on when I was in school. But now, this completely different life. I could sleep more, but it's not even that. It's the freedom and the knowledge that I could live my life the way I want to and the way that I feel good about, the way that's true to myself, and not be judged for it or not have to worry about justifying my actions to anyone. I could be who I want to be and love who I love. Just be alive. I could live my life as an adult away from these people whose relationships with me had become unhealthy. And it's so much better now. I'm so much better now. Emotionally well off. And that's not anything bad against my mom and my sister. I know that they're just people. They're doing their thing. They're flawed. But sometimes you have to take care of yourself. Sometimes you need to take that step, no matter how much it hurts, to just do what's right for you. That doesn't mean that you stop loving the people you love. Leaving doesn't mean that you don't have any feelings about it, that you don't hurt too, that you don't miss them. But you'll go crazy if you stay. Or you'll wind up doing things you regret, or just be miserable the rest of your life. And you can't. You can't do that. So, my advice to you is you can do things for other people. There's nothing wrong with that. But you do have to have a line, some kind of boundary where enough is enough and you have to look out for yourself. You have to take care of yourself first. Because even if you want to help them, if you're not in a place emotionally and mentally where you can help, you're not going to be able to help whoever you want to. it's just not going to work. You need to take care of yourself. Those are my thoughts. I know it was kind of a long video. I'm sorry I got a little emotional. If you have any thoughts, questions, feel free to message me. Like the video if you liked it, comment on it. I'm here to talk if you want about anything, about life, about nerd stuff. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you later.